I look at the JFS as a partner in our work, helping many families, many children. While it's true that the backbone of the community is the yeshivas, but there's no question in my mind that the JFS is a necessary component of the whole community of St. Clifton.
When you speak about Rabbi Hirth, it's difficult because he's such a larger-than-life figure. You know, he was the not-so-secret weapon of mass construction in our community.
The only reason Passaic grew is because of his efforts as a builder.
He was a leader because he had the knowledge and the power to lead. But there was a compassion that not every leader has.
He was just involved with so many huge projects, but made the time to listen to individuals.
You couldn't impress Rabbi Hirth with dedication because there was nobody in the world that was more dedicated than him.
When the Yeshiva Katana first building was being built, when the mikveh was being built, he wanted to see the cement being poured. He got himself boots, which were past his knees, and he was in cement. He had hands-on on everything.
Nothing was too small for him, nothing was too big for him. He just took care of everything.
When he made a decision about something, where other people see walls, where other people see difficulties and issues, he just got the tool that was necessary in order to get it done. And he got things all the way to the end.
Rabbi Hirth was an extraordinary man. He was one of the few people that I've ever met who was able to combine vision with action, with an understanding that things had to be done properly and in a certain way in order to achieve goals.
He was a balach rayas in every way. My father passed away when I was 16. Heshie took an achrayas at that point even for his younger brothers. Many of the paths that I eventually took were guided by him. And he was that type of person. Once he felt that he was responsible for you, there was no stopping him.
When he was speaking about the children of his schools, it wasn't like executive director or someone that, this is my job and, to have the school and have the kids to take care of. It was like, it's my kids. These are mine. And this is my life. His koyach of understanding what has to be done and his fearlessness to do what's right made an everlasting impression on me.
I remember a time there was a therapist that moved into town. He had been here a couple weeks, and he stopped me on the street, and he said to me, Moshe, can I ask you something? I said, sure. He said to me, who's Rabbi Hirth? And I'm like, why do you ask? He said, because whenever something comes up, whenever there's we don't know what to do. So I asked, who do you speak to? And this therapist tells me, I called Rabbi Hirth. That therapist tells me, if you have a question, calls her, who's Rabbi Hirth? I told him, don't worry, you'll find out.
Rabbi Hirth gave me the feeling that he believed in everything that I did as a social worker and as a support for the community. I really grew because of his belief in me. It made me a better professional.
It made us take achrayas. It made us think about every decision that we made. It made us understand that we are here to service the children and the parents and to be able to stand behind our decisions and to think through things.
There was a boy who unfortunately lost one of his parents, and Rabbi Berkowitz and I went to the boy's house to go speak with him. And when we got there, we were speaking with this child on the front steps, and Rabbi Hirth pulled up, and he popped his trunk, and he called us over. He said, "Come here, I need your help with something." We went over, and he had an air conditioner in the trunk of his car. Rabbi Hirth had been there prior to our arrival. He knows that after the funeral, the family will be sitting shiva, and he noticed that there was, there wasn't air conditioning in the house, and it was the summer months, and it was going to be hot, and he just left. He went to Home Depot, bought an air conditioner.
Rabbi Hirth was very, very focused on the community, and very, very focused on helping the people in the community. And he said to me on more than one occasion about things that there needs to be a place to go if someone loses their job, if somebody has an elderly parent, if children needed all different types of therapy. He felt very strongly that there should be a place in town for them to go.
When we have an issue in school with the child, with the family, we always make the referral to JFS. And they're very professional about it. And if we need to expedite things, they make it happen.
My brother once told me about the JFS. He said, if it didn't exist, we'd have to invent it. The JFS by him was an integral part of the community, addressing issues that he felt he didn't have time for to address properly. And he was overjoyed that there was an organization that could deal with all the issues, that he could just say, okay, here's one, take it, run with it, etc.
I had been in his office at a meeting with the former director, and I remember his saying, in a few years, you won't recognize this agency. And for the most part, he was right about that.
JFS provides comprehensive mental health and social services across the lifespan, from children to adults to seniors. We have highly qualified, talented therapists that are proficient in an array of interventions, from individual psychotherapy to group therapy to couples therapy. We also provide psychiatric interventions as well. Our community resources include a kosher food co-op, vocational rehabilitation, and clinical case management. We have specialty programs, including the Club Sequoia Senior Socialization Program, as well as Project Sarah for victims of domestic violence. We shoulder cases that many private therapists and even agencies won't even touch.
One of the special things about JFS, I would say, is that it helps out from various vantage points. So for instance, if a person comes to JFS for therapy and they notice that you also are not being able to pay your bills, so they'll send you to case management and they'll help you also. And if you don't really have enough food, so you can go to the food pantry and get food. Or if you don't have enough clothes, you can go to the Dress to Impress to get clothes.
Most people don't realize how much JFS actually does. At any given time, we have between 400 and 500 active clients. Of those, more than 350 are receiving psychotherapy in various forms.
One of the things that we do is help Holocaust survivors, which we've been doing for many years. I've lost track already. They get home health aides. Since everything that they've been through, Germany owes it to them that in this frail stage of their life, that they should be helped.
As small as the community is and was, but growing, the needs are great. And JFS has been an organization that has been very helpful in many different areas.
JFS is certainly a necessity.
As executive director of JFS, there are two things in particular that I would like to emulate. The first is his uncanny ability, the siyata deshmaya that he had with being able to be involved with building and managing schools and mostos, but then also being present and directly involved with many private individuals. The second was his Mida of Anava, humility. Many moons ago, I was a substitute teacher at the boys' school. I had the opportunity to speak with him, and as we were walking down one of the halls, he was picking up garbage, and he shared with me that he felt there was nothing beneath him that he wouldn't do for the schools and the community.
The level of problems that come to us have grown, so we've responded to the community's needs, and we've tried to anticipate the needs in the future.
Rabbi Hirth believed in JFS, he believed in parents getting support, he believed in children getting support. He cared about the whole community.
He had plenty of difficulties and health-wise and over the years, but still it didn't stop him. It only strengthened him. He felt that Hashem had given him time to live, and he was going to make the most of it.
We all know that Rabbi Hirth took many children that were not able to get into other schools in other communities. One of these children left our school. The family moved from Monsey to Lakewood for Parnassa reasons, and that girl was not in school. She could not get into a school in Lakewood. One day the mother called me just crying. There was nothing wrong with this girl. She was a delicious, darling girl. She was not a drain on anything. And she called and she asked us, please try one more time. I called the principal of a very large school in Lakewood, and Without me even knowing, I started to cry, and I was so strong. And I said to her, by this afternoon, I want to hear that there's a chair in that classroom and a seat for that child. That afternoon, the principal called me and told me that she accepted that child. And at that point, I called Mrs. Hirth, and Rabbi Hirth was sick at the time, and I said, I want you to know that Rabbi Hirth is alive and well in the halls of Bnos Bracha, because that fight in me and that passion in me was the Rabbi Hirth that he put into every one of us.
When Rabbi Hirth became sick, and some of the clients told me, like, I wish I could speak with Rabbi Hirth. And that was a huge loss, when that wasn't an option.
I doubt that I'll ever have the great honor to meet anyone like him again. He was a guide, a teacher, someone who gave me inspiration, someone who would say to me, we can do these things, we can get them done, we have a responsibility, we're chiyuv to do that. I'll miss him very much.
There was an article about Rabbi Hirth a number of years ago, and Rabbi Zupnik said that there are many people help build a community, but Rabbi Hirth towers over everybody else.
And this community that he built was built on Torah, Avoda, and Gemilas Chasadim. And much of that Gemilas Chasadim is done right here on Main Avenue at JFS.